wanted to make a quick video talking about like the current state of YouTube. Now, I will admit I have a script here. Turns out I've been doing scripted content for so long now, I don't know how to make a video without a script. I just go way off tangent, literally like I am right now. I'm going to be looking here for the most part, but I'll do my best to not. For me personally, YouTube has not been a very enjoyable place, especially over the last few months. Nothing's necessarily changed over the last few months, but for me personally, it just recently sort of hit me. Now, I'm sure many of you have noticed, or maybe at least some of you have noticed, I haven't uploaded a video in over a month. Admittedly, I actually have started a degree, so I'm in week 4 right now. And for those of you who are interested, I'm doing a bachelor's degree in film and media production. I realised that the actual creating of these YouTube videos, that was my passion. The rest that sort of comes with it, it's half a bonus and it's half a curse. It's hard to deny and ignore all the drama that goes on around us. I think it's fair to say maybe 90% of YouTube's users are aware of the sort of Mr. Beast allegations. They know of the Lunchley fiasco, and while I do not really like to engage in any of this sort of content, I will say, you know, the reasons I think Lunchley has gone down so badly is because it's an unneeded merch, and it's both perishable and consumable, meaning you buy it, you consume it, or you don't. In some cases it just goes moldy, and it's gone. Other merch like what I'm wearing right here, you know, it's clothing, it's toys. Thing is, it lasts far longer, and maybe a lifetime if you look after it. You know, I know a lot of people for things like Funko Pops, which you can't see. You can see Dragonite over there. You know, Funko Pops, you know, a lot of people keep them in their containers. 1, to make sure it stays in perfect condition, or 2, maybe they want to sell it as a collectible or something in the future. Now, what I'm wearing here, this is merch by a YouTuber called WolfGlick, or WolfieGlick. He is a Pokemon World Champion. His videos are beautifully scripted and edited, and they've influenced my content a lot. So this is the only YouTuber merch I have ever purchased. It was very affordable. It is very good quality. This will last me years and years and years. So I've also seen Lunchy being compared to things like sweets and candy products, you know, that are also being sold by other creators. And my argument here is 2 things. 1, the price of a bag of sweets is typically far lower than the price of Lunchley. And 2, everybody knows that sweets aren't good for you, and you buy them as a treat. And as I've gotten older, a bag of sweets can actually last me sometimes a few days, and maybe I only really buy 1 bag a month. So since my degree is now watching films, and I'm watching a lot of films, I might be buying sweets a bit more often than once a month. Sweets, the target demographic is actually older than the sort of young age that Lunchley is being pointed to. But this video is not actually about Lunchley. It's not about KSI, Logan Paul, Mr. Beast. It's not really about any of that. But I needed to talk about that to give context on the next part of this video. And that's talking about my current feed on YouTube. No matter how many channels I seem to be marking as do not recommend, my feed is drama. It's drama, drama, drama. New channels seem to be cropping up every day. And regardless if you have 100 subscribers or 100 million subscribers, if you are blatantly putting false quotes in your titles or your thumbnails, I will immediately mark you as do not recommend. The obvious clickbait is absolutely infurious, especially for me, because my video has been accused of being clickbait by saying a game is impossible. Many gaming channels are also being called out for use of similar terms like the word broken. Like, that's not just some gaming terminology that has been around for decades. It's not meant literally. And this also brings me on to comments. Over the years, I have found that the comment section just gets worse and worse. I tried making a few guides 2 years ago for Elden Ring, and a few of the videos I've just had to get rid of comments entirely. I started off by deleting them, but every day there seemed to be more and more comments, and the same people would come back saying, "Oh, you deleted my comment." It's just like, it's mad. You know, how badly do you want to get a rise out of somebody to leave a... Now, if you want to leave constructive criticism, fine, but that's not what these are. They are purely just negative comments, insulting myself, insulting what I've made, and that's it. And then you delete the comment, you don't respond, and they come back and put another one. So a few of my videos, I've just had to remove the ability to comment on them, delete every comment that's already there. And that's, I feel like most days now I wake up and the comments that YouTube is telling me about, they are all negative. And it just feels like I can't do anything right. It's very, very, very upsetting. Some drama channels actually just use pretty much essentially the same title and the same thumbnail in back-to-back videos. And it's usually all talk about the same content creator as well, maybe 2 content creators. And because these videos are basically being uploaded back to back, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday or whatever, there's no real update to the story, and I use the word story very, very loosely. Some creators who I actually have a lot of respect for, I have noticed they've stepped back from making this sort of content. They either don't upload drama related content anymore, or they upload very, very little of it, and they make the one video on a topic or a person and then they move on. And this doesn't surprise me at all. I can imagine making that sort of content and that sort of content being your main form of content very mentally draining. And I think that moves me on nicely to my main point in this video, which is all about YouTube itself. I've mentioned this a few times, I don't like to keep mentioning and bringing it up, but I've been on this platform for a long time. Longer than probably most creators. My first video was uploaded September the 18th, 2011. It's on an old channel and I've marked all the videos as unlisted because I don't really want them to be pushed out. They are, my voice was very high pitched. They are not good quality videos. There is no editing, but I haven't got rid of them because I like to look back at them to remind myself, this is how far I've come as an editor. And even looking back 1 year ago, the stuff that I can do now is significantly better. And I'm looking forward to looking at my videos again in a year or 2 time from now. And I think, unfortunately, the biggest thing that's changed is this platform now feels like it's business first. It's all about the money. I've been a part of a lot of communities over the years, and at first it's all about how can we make a fun video. But now the only thing that ever gets talked about is money, 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 views, 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 subscribers. It's just about the numbers. So first you gotta make sure your video is long enough to get your mid-roll ads, and then when the ad revenue isn't enough, it's time for super chats, donations, memberships, Patreon, sponsorship deals, of which a lot of people I've personally worked with refuse to disclose that their videos are even sponsored. And these people, even though maybe it's my channel size or maybe slightly bigger, they are making thousands of dollars a month. Let that sink in. They are not a large channel. They are not making that much money from the ad revenue. But these mobile game companies specifically will pay thousands. I myself have had 2 or 3 people contact me. Sometimes the companies will straight up pay you thousands, and that's pretty much what I'm talking about in these situations. But sometimes they will basically be like, no, use this link, get your viewers to click on it. So anytime you see that, by the way, they are just trying to get money specifically out of their viewers. And I straight up told these companies, I will not do that. I am not on YouTube to make money off of my viewers, aside from ad revenue. If you have ad block, that's absolutely fine. I run ad block myself, usually when I'm listening to music or I've got a playlist going to try and help me fall asleep. I'm not sleeping well at the moment at all. Or if I'm visiting any other website outside of YouTube, because adblock is so good at protecting your computer. I would always advise people to run adblock wherever you possibly can. Now, YouTube is going to be very, very upset at me for saying that, but this video is all about being open and honest. So now I will say not all the blame should be on the creator in all those situations, because I've been told by a lot of people that worked with these sponsors, as well as talking to some of these sponsors myself, the sponsors tell you do not mention you are sponsored. Otherwise they will just take the deal off. Just want to put that out there. At least half of the blame should be on the sponsor because they are telling you to break the law. Everything else, YouTube is absolutely at fault. I think the biggest change that YouTube has done, and one that's not necessarily about money, but it's a leading cause of depression amongst creators, and that's the dreaded dashboard. Why do I need to know how well my video is doing compared to my 10 latest videos? Why do I need to know if it's doing better or worse than my average? The answer, of course, is very, very simple. It's to know what your audience likes and dislikes. It's all about how you grow your channel. Analytics and statistics and lots of stuff, it's very, very useful tool. I myself have run a couple of small businesses, including things like I used to run a trading card website, which I ran on my ex back during lockdown. And then I recently tried to boot it up again myself, and I got to say, trying to do it on my own, it was way too difficult. So that's gone as well now. But also in the past, I've run on Etsy, I've run a few little small things. So looking at analytics, looking at statistics, it's incredibly useful, incredibly helpful. But you will get into the wrong mindset and you'll get focused on this if you're not careful. So for me personally, things like analytics, you should absolutely have access to this sort of thing. It's a very important tool. It's probably more important for, in my opinion, business related channels. So either companies that are on YouTube make videos, or creators who are only interested in trying to make money out of YouTube. But in my opinion, you should have access to this, but you should have to go out your way. It shouldn't be the first thing you see when you open up the dashboard. And the other thing is, all these analytics and stuff like that, it's only good if YouTube is actually good at what it does. And YouTube is bloody rubbish at pushing your videos out correctly. Maybe it's because I'm a small channel. Maybe it's because I don't like to stick to one game. Maybe it's gaming in general. There are tools out there to basically help decide if your titles are good, your tags are good, your description's good, your thumbnails are good. And for a while I actually used one of these, and I wouldn't make my video public until it's something like 80 out of 100 or better. But the analytics of those videos would tell me that my videos got 20 views in the first 30 hours, with something like a 0.3% click-through rate. Which means if my video appears on someone's homepage, only 0.3% of people that see it have clicked it. 0.3% is incredibly bad. 5% is considered pretty good, if not very good. What I would do is I'd look at this video's analytics, and it would tell me it got the first 20 views within 30 minutes. My analytics maybe push it out to a couple of hundred people and stop. YouTube essentially just gave up. And this happens all the time. It's quite normal. Usually YouTube will try again with different audiences and that sort of stuff until it kind of gets the right audience. But a lot of time it just doesn't. It stops. So you go back in, you give it a new title, you give it a fresh thumbnail, all this sort of stuff. And it's just time consuming and it's absolutely mentally draining. So what did I do? I hired a professional YouTube person off of Fiverr. He looked at my channel, he talked to me for about 2 hours, gave me a video to watch that he broke down everything right with my channel, everything wrong with my channel, and it somewhat worked. It helped me at least understand things better. And so my views on a few things actually went up, but my mental health drastically went down. I got so bad depression for a good few weeks while I was looking at this, and it stayed there until I had a good video, and that lasted for maybe 30 minutes. The reason for that was because the video that did really, really well was me talking negatively about a game's update. The title was sort of, showing that I wasn't happy with the update. The thumbnail is basically talking about that something's been nerfed, and that video still sits rank 1 out of 10 in my dashboard. And that really, really pissed me off. A rubbish video decided to do really, really well because for some reason that negative side of titles and stuff just brings in views like nothing. You can see why drama videos do so well, but it does not make you feel good when that's the case. So I decided to actually make a video that I really, really liked. I spent over a week editing and planning and writing a script, getting all the footage. I made the video and I then said to myself, right, I'm going to take a month off. Before I wrap this video up, I wanted to at least be open and transparent and break down my own monetization. Because I mentioned memberships earlier, I should state that I do have memberships on this channel. But the way that I do it is only one tier. I've set up, I think it costs about £4.99, and to my knowledge, you cannot gift memberships. So I don't have Super Chat, I don't have donation links, I don't have Patreon, I don't have anything else, which means I know the most somebody can spend on my channel is £4.99 a month. And what do you get for it? Nothing. I might occasionally put a video up a couple of hours early, but that is all you'll get. It's just there, so if I ever think about going full-time, because I still consider YouTube to be my dream job, I can hopefully potentially rely on a small bit of income coming from my viewers. But for the same reason, I do not advertise that I have memberships. I don't say in my video, make sure to become a member in this channel for no reason. The link is there in the description if anybody wants to read it. I would much, much rather I can get my channel to be the point where the ad revenue alone is all I need. It's been just after a month, but I am now ready to come back and make videos again. I'm not going to be making the videos I have been making. I'm absolutely not going to stick to one type of game because that's just not me. At the moment I'm playing a little bit of Throne and Liberty. I played a game on PlayStation 1 called Digimon World about a year ago, and I'm finally going to make that video. I'm working on a script, but it's already like 8 pages long. It's a hell of a complicated game. I want to make really high quality edited videos, and it's never going to be basically the same game. It's just what I feel like uploading, because that's what it always used to be. I want to go back to what I did 13 years ago. Just better script writing, better editing, better planning, better gameplay, and I think I'm going to be a lot happier doing it.